Buddhism emerged in India over 2,500 years ago. It was founded by Siddhartha Gautama, who became known as the Buddha. The Buddha's teachings offered a path to enlightenment and liberation from suffering. Buddhism rapidly gained popularity. It appealed to people from all walks of life. Its message of compassion and non-violence resonated deeply. The Mauryan Emperor Ashoka in the 3rd century BCE played a crucial role in spreading Buddhism. He embraced the teachings after witnessing the horrors of war. Ashoka promoted Buddhism through edicts inscribed on pillars and rocks. He also sent missionaries to different parts of Asia. Buddhism flourished in India for centuries. It fostered a rich intellectual and cultural environment. Grand monasteries and universities became centers of learning. These institutions attracted scholars and practitioners from across the land. Buddhism's influence extended to art, architecture, and philosophy. While Buddhism flourished, Hinduism, India's ancient spiritual tradition, experienced a revival. This resurgence was fueled by several factors. Hindu philosophers and theologians began to reinterpret their scriptures. They offered new perspectives on ancient wisdom. This led to a renewed interest in Hinduism among the populace. Adi Shankara, a prominent Hindu philosopher of the 8th century CE, played a significant role in this revival. Shankara advocated for Advaita Vedanta. This philosophy emphasizes the unity of the individual soul with the ultimate reality, Brahman. Shankara's teachings challenged some fundamental tenets of Buddhist philosophy. This contributed to a growing debate between the two traditions. The Bhakti movement, which emerged around the same period, further strengthened Hinduism. This devotional movement emphasized a personal relationship with God. It transcended the rigid social hierarchies of the time. The Bhakti movement appealed to people from all castes and backgrounds, fostering a sense of unity and shared faith. The decline of Buddhism in India was a gradual process. It was influenced by a complex interplay of factors. One significant factor was the loss of royal patronage. Buddhist institutions had long relied on the support of kings and emperors. This support began to dwindle as Hindu rulers came to power. The Gupta Empire, which ruled over much of northern India from the 4th to the 6th century CE, marked a shift in royal patronage. While the Guptas were tolerant of Buddhism, they were themselves patrons of Hinduism. The Gupta rulers generously funded the construction of Hindu temples and institutions. This shift in patronage had a significant impact on the resources available to Buddhist monasteries. Furthermore, the decline of urban centers in India also played a role. Buddhism had traditionally flourished in urban environments. These were centers of trade, commerce, and intellectual exchange. As cities declined, so too did the economic base that supported Buddhist institutions. The arrival of Islamic invaders in the 12th century CE dealt a severe blow to Buddhism in India. These invaders, driven by religious zeal and a desire for conquest, targeted Buddhist institutions. They saw them as symbols of a rival faith. Monasteries were looted and destroyed. Libraries housing vast collections of Buddhist scriptures were burned. The destruction of Nalanda University in present-day Bihar was a particularly devastating loss. Nalanda was one of the most renowned centers of Buddhist learning in the world. It attracted scholars from as far as China and Tibet. The destruction of Nalanda marked a turning point. It symbolized the decline of Buddhist scholarship in India. The Islamic invasions led to the displacement of monks and the disruption of Buddhist practices. Many Buddhist monks sought refuge in the Himalayan regions. They found safe haven in Tibet, Nepal, and Bhutan. In these areas, Buddhism continued to thrive and evolve. Despite its decline in India, Buddhism left an indelible mark on the country's culture and history. The Buddha's teachings of compassion, non-violence, and the pursuit of enlightenment continue to resonate with millions. Buddhism found new life in the 20th century, thanks in part to the efforts of social reformer B.R. Ambedkar. Ambedkar, who played a key role in drafting the Indian constitution, converted to Buddhism in 1956. He inspired millions of Dalits, formerly known as untouchables, to follow suit. Ambedkar saw Buddhism as a path to social justice and equality. Today, Buddhism is experiencing a global resurgence. Its teachings on mindfulness and meditation have found a receptive audience in the West. While its presence in India may be diminished, Buddhism's legacy lives on. Its message of peace and compassion continues to inspire people around the world.